Hello again, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Focus Vandalia. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And today we're coming to you from a Vandalia neighborhood to address an issue that pops up each and every winter. As we get a heavy snow and the snowplow driver moves that snow from the middle of the road to the side, it can oftentimes end up in inconvenient locations. This winter has been a rough one for all of us, as large amounts of snow have forced us out with our shovels to clear paths. The same holds true for Vandalia's public works crews, who are responsible for clearing snow citywide.
When we're out plowing the streets, there's really only one place to push the snow, and that's over to the edge of the road. So, and we understand, people's driveways, you feel like we're blocking their driveways in, but there's really limited options on a way to remove the snow from the street to keep the streets safe and not push it over along the curb in front of someone's driveway.
Public Service Director Rob Cron says he completely understands how frustrating it can be to face a mound of snow at the end of your driveway. But he wants you to know it's not being put there to annoy you.
That is definitely not our intention. We want everybody to be able to get out and get on the streets. And like I say, our main priority is to keep all of the streets cleaned and safe for people that have to go to work or wherever their school or wherever they need to go. And in doing that, unfortunately, that's going to leave that snow in front of the driveway. People ask, can you lift the blade at each driveway? Well, that's physically not really, because when you lift the blade, you're going to leave snow in the street then and create a hazard. And so then you're going to have piles of snow down the street. So, and if you try to turn the blade so it doesn't push it to the side, you're really just pushing the problem down the street to the next driveways or an intersection where that can cause a hazard as well.
Looking at a snowplow blade, it's easy to see why the snow ends up where it does.
Why the blade's angled towards the edge, that's the only place you can push your snow. You can't pile it in the middle of the street and cause a hazard, and to try to just push it straight down the street, at some point it piles up so much and leaves snow on both sides, and that creates a hazard as well. And our guys, they take a lot of pride in what we're doing in plowing the streets, and I think we do it as well as anyone around. And unfortunately, by us cleaning the streets, that's going to cause a problem at your driveway at times, and we hope that you have patience and you'll bear with us.
Snowplow drivers have specific routes they take, focusing on heavily traveled roadways first and staying on those main routes until they are completely cleared.
Then is when we work our way into the neighborhoods on the main streets, and our first thing is to try to make a pass or two on each street to get it opened up so people can travel it. So it might seem like, well, you've plowed my street once, I cleaned my driveway, and then here you come again. Well, that is why we try to make all of the streets passable, and then we'll come back after the event has stopped and try to open all of the streets over to the curbs. And one reason we do that is so that when the snow does start to melt, it has a place to drain into the catch basins, and it also makes it safer for just people passing through.
With more snow in the forecast this week, public works crews are gearing up for another stretch of long hours behind the wheel. Cron says you can help our snowplow drivers do their job by removing any obstacles from the roadway.
If you can park your car off of the street in your driveway or somewhere, and then we can clean the whole street at one time versus coming back later after somebody has moved a parked car and it might be right next to somebody's driveway. Well, then we come push that snow and then it goes in their driveway. So we have that option. There's a lot of factors involved, but and trust me, we've researched ways to do this, and there's just nowhere else to put the snow but along the edge of the road.
One of the great things about living in Vandalia is that this is truly a city of neighbors helping neighbors. So we'll close this episode with an appeal. If you have neighbors who are older or who don't have the ability to dig themselves out, next snowstorm, maybe consider pitching in and lending them a hand. That's going to do it for this edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.